Alright, welcome to a very nerdy video. This is going to be extremely nerdy and it's going to be all about CSGO skins. So I've been playing Counter-Strike competitively for the past few months, quite a lot. I've been playing it pretty much since the start of the year. And I've been having a load of fun with it. I've been having a load of fun within the CSGO community again, you know, with the news about CS2 and all that. It's definitely been a lot of fun. Now, with that being said, we all know that a huge part of Counter-Strike Global Offensive are its skins markets. And because I've been playing the game quite a lot for the past few months, I have also been trying to upgrade my own inventory, getting some better skins. So currently my loadout looks like this. As you can see, it's nothing too special. I think the most expensive skins that I own are probably like my StatTrak Factory New, Glock, and USP, my M4 Cyrus, which I believe is either Factory New or Minimal Wear, and then my AK Empress. These are probably my most expensive skins. And I don't own any gloves or a knife yet. And in this video, I actually wanted to talk a bit about that, because as you can see in my knife, I'm currently holding this beautiful, I believe, minimal wear Huntsman Autotronic, and this is actually one of the skins that I'm considering getting. I've basically already decided that the Autotronic is easily my favorite knife skin because I feel like it just screams aspect. You can see he's got a nice balance of like deep red and like silver/white. Looks really good on the Huntsman, and it looks just as good on other knives. Like for example, this field-tested Karambit Autotronic, which is currently listed for sale on the Steam market for 1,360 euro. Now, of course, there's absolutely no way that I'm paying that much for a skin in a video game, even though I absolutely adore this knife. First, what I want to do is I want to show you my dream knife. This is the knife that I would like the most, but it's still quite expensive. It's not as expensive as the Karambit, but it's still sitting at around like 900 euro or something like that. I'm talking about the Bayonet Autotronic. This thing looks phenomenal. This, ladies and gentlemen, is my dream knife. The Bayonet Autotronic. This thing, I think, looks phenomenal. It's got an absolutely incredible pull-out animation, like the way he like flips the knife around his hand. Look at that. It looks so clean. The stab animations are really smooth. Like this left click, there's nothing wrong with it. The right click, again, absolutely nothing wrong with it. It's just a stab. The inspect animation, again, nothing wrong with it. And I actually prefer this over the M9 because, sure, this one also looks cool, but first of all, I'm not a big fan of those like little teeth that it has on the side. And I also don't like how big the blade is. It almost looks like a freaking kitchen knife. I don't know, it's just too big. The regular bayonet, however, is incredible. This is easily the knife that I want the most. But as you can see on Steam, a minimal wear Bayonet Autotronic is over 1,000 euro and a field tested one is 850. And the field tested one just does not really look that great. And if I'm gonna pay this much for a skin, then I might as well just do something else with that money. Even on Skinboard, the cheapest field tested Bayonet Autotronic is like 640 euro. And the cheapest minimal wear is, first of all, StatTrak, so that doesn't count. Yeah, basically 900 euro because everyone asks for way too much on Skinboard. Do you guys know any other websites that also sell CSGO skins similar to Skinboard that I should be looking at? Because I usually only look at the Steam market and Skinboard, but maybe there's other websites that I like don't know of. Let me know. So the two knives that I currently have my eye on that I literally cannot decide between are the Huntsman Autotronic and the Bowie Knife Autotronic. Starting off with the Bowie Knife Autotronic. Now, of course, this pull-out animation, I adore it. This is so cool. I love how big the blade is. Some people say that it's too big, but honestly, with the shape that it has, I think it looks fantastic. And if you right-click someone with it, I don't know how to describe it, but it feels really like forceful, right? Like you just jabbing them in the back. It feels really satisfying doing that right-click, but then you see the left-click. What the fuck is this? It looks like I'm trying to freaking like left hook someone or something. It's just a bit silly, so that's the main thing that I don't like about the Bowie knife. Everything else about it is fantastic. The inspect animation, I think, is really, really cool. I do kind of wish that he was holding like the actual grip of the knife and not like the knife itself, because that way it looks a little bit stupid. And I also kind of feel like bunny hopping while inspecting this Bowie knife, it just looks a bit awkward. So that's why I'm not 100% sure about the Bowie knife. The rival contender is the Huntsman Autotronic. Now, the Huntsman is probably one of the most famous knives in the game, alongside things like the Karambit and the flip knife and whatnot. You know, knives that have been here from pretty much day one. And the thing about the Huntsman is it's a really like stable knife. I like basically everything about this knife. I love the inspect animation, you know, it's really clean. The only thing that kind of like triggers me is the fact that there's like some distance between my character's thumb in the actual knife. You see that? A lot of people actually avoid Huntsman knives for that exact reason. I think that's a little bit petty, but it is definitely worth noticing. The left click, again, absolutely nothing wrong with it. The right and left clicks on this knife are pretty much the exact same as the bayonet, which is also why I'm heavily considering this, because it's basically almost like a budget bayonet, but it just looks a bit more aggressive. The reason I'm not too sure about this knife is because it feels bland, it feels boring. With how many knives we have in CSGO today, the Huntsman is absolutely nothing special. We have things like the Karambit, the Talon, we have nomad knives, survival knives, all this shit. We have even the classic knife from, what is it, Source? The Huntsman knife feels really boring compared to a lot of these knives, which is the reason I'm not 100% about it. Because the thing about this knife is I feel like the knife is kind of the skin that represents your inventory. Your knife should kind of represent you as a player. So that's why I'm trying to find a knife that actually kind of matches me. I'm looking way too deep into this, I know. But I really want a knife that represents me as a person and also as a player. And I am someone that usually likes to do things a little bit differently, which is why I'm considering the Bowie knife, because it's not a lot of people's first choice. So, I don't know. In terms of price, there's not a lot of difference. If we look at both of them, minimal wear and Skinboard, the cheapest Bowie knife minimal wear, which has a .117 float, is 277 euro, while the cheapest Huntsman is 300. So it's only like a 20-30 euro difference, which is not that much. So, I don't know, man. I'm really torn between these two. Some people might also just say, you know, just save up and go for the bayonet, and I probably will do that eventually, but at the same time, I want a knife right now. I can always sell the Huntsman / Bowie later and use that money to buy a bayonet when I save up enough. Another thing I want to do, which is going to be really funny when I do it, is I had the idea of buying the cheapest Navaja knife that I can find, which is probably this one, which is only 82 euro because, you know, Navaja knives are worth like nothing. And if we look at how it looks in game, you can see it's fucking disgusting. This is not a pretty thing to look at. It's a fucking noodle. So what I wanted to do is I wanted to buy the cheapest Navaja knife I can find, which in this case is this one. And I'm gonna put a name tag on it and call it Scalpel or Pincet or something like that, because that's kind of what this looks like. Even the pull-out animation is disgusting. It almost kind of looks like that little pair of scissors that you use to like cut your toenails and stuff. But yeah, this would be like a secondary knife that I would just have. Partially for the idea of having more than one knife, and also partially for the idea of just having the most meme knife in the whole game. Because I mean, imagine like you're actually playing a fucking competitive game, you just get knifed by someone with a knife worth 80 euro, name tag Scalpel. I don't know about you, but I would fucking alta for the game if that happened to me. So yeah, let me know which knife I should buy.